Virtuous Individual Black Excellence. Centuries ago, melanated people were known as royalty. Later down the timeline, we were taken out of Africa, put on ships to travel into unknown territory and become enslaved. Captured, mistreated, refused to be seen as virtuous, individual, black excellence. It's time to gain our reputation back. It's time to continue the dreams of Mansa Musa and Cleopatra, who defined royalty, wealth, and power in Africa. But most importantly, we will complete the dreams that God has for us. We will reign in victory. Y'all ready to V.I.B.E? Because I am. Come on, let's talk with me, your favorite host, Paris Hawk. Let's vibe, baby. What's up, wonderful kings and queens? Welcome back to Let's Talk with Paris Hawk V.I.B.E, the show where all of you virtuous, individual, black excellence, king and queens are represented not just 4 times a year, but every single day. Baby, you are royalty, and just in case no one has told you today, I love you and so does God. Whew. Okay, so I hope you guys watched our relaunch episode of me telling a little bit about my story, but today is the first official day that episode 1 is coming out. Woo! You know, I'm just imagining the audience in the background that doesn't exist, but you know, I gotta start small somewhere, y'all, so come on, every clap. Woo! Anyways, before I show you guys the wonderful interview that I did with an amazing queen, I would like to give you guys a message because you know I can't do anything without God. In fact, Matthew chapter 17 verse 20 says that if you do not have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can't move mountains. But if you have that faith that is as small as a mustard seed, do you see it? You can't? Yeah, it's super small. I just threw it on. I don't even know where it is. Anyways, if you have that faith that is as small as a tiny mustard seed, you will be able to move mountains. Whether it is a situation in a relationship gone bad, with God, you can lead. Whether it is a situation with a job, with God, you will succeed. Whether it is a situation where you're failing in school, with God, baby, you're going to get that A+. Okay? Whether it is a situation with family, you will overcome. Whether it is a situation with, even an actual mountain, if you think you can move that mountain, God's going to show you. You're going to be able to move that mountain. So just know, like Matthew chapter 17 verse 20 says, I'm going to read the exact scripture. Hold on, y'all. You know, we live in the virtual ages, so I have an actual Bible, but I'm just going to read from my iPad real quick. It says, Jesus said, because you have so little faith, truly I tell you, if you have faith like a grain of mustard seed, you can say to move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. Can I get an amen? Amen. Woo. Okay. See, y'all, this is why I need an audience so y'all can be crazy with me, because I promise you, I'm just riding the waves. Anyways, if you listen to my relaunch episode of me telling a little bit about myself, telling you my story, I mentioned a bottle of oil that spoke volume to me. And this bottle of oil, you're gonna have to go look at the beginning of our show, more like the beginning of the relaunch episode, to understand where I'm coming from. But this is the bottle of oil that I spoke about. And as I said, I had a note on there on the counter. Oh, you can't see it. Okay. Anyways, it says, do not move, because I didn't want anyone to move it. This is actually my first time moving it off the counter. In 2 Kings chapter 4, I believe, it speaks of the woman in the Bible who had oil and a jar. And the prophet, I believe it was Elijah or Elisha. I gotta check my Bible. I don't want to tell y'all the wrong name, but it's one of those. He told her to go fill all the jars that she got from her neighbors with oil, and she will be blessed. And so, that being said, I know I'm not going into full detail, but from this interview with this amazing woman of God that I will present to you today, with this interview, I want you to know that if you take a dime, it can turn into a dime. If you take a penny, it can turn into millions. If you take a bottle of oil or a jar of oil and you pour it and keep pouring it out, if you have that Matthew 17:20 faith, then you will be able to achieve your dreams. You have to be able to know that God comes in the small things before he comes in the big things. You cannot expect God to fulfill your hopes and dreams if you do not see him in the little things. And that's why your faith has to be as small as a mustard seed, because if you don't have faith that tiny, then how are you going to expect God to move mountains for you? How are you going to expect him to bless you in the unknown? Stop listening to the haters. Stop listening to the people that bring you down. Because last time I checked, you hear that? Solid ground beneath my feet. And so God, he's going to work miracles. And for this woman of God, God worked miracles for her. He moved mountains for her. He did that crazy Matthew chapter 17 verse 20 faith for her. And I am inspired by her. I don't want you guys to just be inspired by my story and think that I'm just speaking words. I want you to also know that God works through other people. And so, thank you in advance, woman of God, for being a V.I.B.E. Thank you for being a virtuous individual, Black excellent queen. And kings and queens, remember that you are a child of the King of Kings. And you got the V.I.B.E. I got the V. I got the I. I got the B. I got the E. Anyways, y'all know I'm crazy. Anyways, baby, you are a V.I.B.E. Thank you for, just being here. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's talk with Paris Hawk. Ooh, we got the V, we got the I, we got the B, we got the E. Oh, we got the V.I.B.E. We got the V, we got the I, we got the B, we got the E. Oh, we got the V.I.B.E. 'Cause we're virtuous, individual, and we're black. We're excellent. We got the V.I.B.E. We're black. Oh, don't know if you've been told. Oh, we got the V.I.B.E. So let's talk with Paris Hawk. Let's vibe, baby. Bonjour, it's me, your girl Patty, and this is Let's Talk with Paris Hawk V.I.B.E. Today we have a very, very special guest here today, and her name is Latoya. I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell you guys a little bit about her company. And first of all, Latoya, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today on V.I.B.E. because she already knows that she is a virtuous individual, Black excellence, human being, superstar, queen. Like look at her, y'all. gorgeous, beautiful. Yeah, so tell us about your business and about yourself.
Well, Paris, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, and thank you for bringing me on. I am so excited and so thrilled. I'll first just even start with this. No one would know that I was an introvert and that I was super shy to talk around anyone. So let's first get that out of the way, so that if anyone is watching this, they can start off by saying that I can be an introvert and still run my business, and I can still be great. Okay, so
me strength.
You sure can. Yes, you can. And so first, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Latoya Whitfield. I am a coach. I am a speaker. And my goal is and I'm a mentor, and my goal is to always make sure that I'm empowering women to be the greatest form of themselves. So a lot of people may know me from Budging with Wit, and with Budging with Wit, it had a foundation of teaching the budgeting tips, how to save, how to build your credit. But through that, I understood that it was way more powerful than that. Although it created that foundation, the people that I was connecting with were strong, powerful women that had businesses that wanted to go further. And so with that, I knew that I had to make sure that my audience was targeted towards those people. What's great is that these people were still in their 9-to-5 jobs, but still wanting to go further, still wanting to go full time with their business, but they were scared. And so that right there is what really drove me. And so I knew that that was what I wanted for myself, and I wanted to give that to other people. So today marks the 1 month anniversary of me leaving my 9-to-5 job. Yes.
Well, you know, it must be God, because, you know, as you heard in the first episode of V.I.B.E, I was talking about how I went on faith and quit my job as a single mom, quit my job, crazy. And for those of you who haven't heard the first episode of V.I.B.E, go back and listen. But it's my whole story about how I literally ignored God for months. And finally, one Saturday, I went to Bible study, and y'all, it's crazy. Just God confirmed it for me. And so I keep asking God, you know, was it okay that I quit my job? You know, was it okay? And I said, God, I need people that have done this already to confirm that this is the right path for me. You know, like you probably heard already in the first episode of V.I.B.E, I never really look at Tyler Perry things. Well, at least interviews. I look at his movies, of course, but just him talking. And he was talking about how he quit his job, and people thought he was, you know, foolish for it, and how he became a big success today. And I said, God, you know, sometimes you have to actually see what other people do, and it's sad, you have to see what other people do in order to fulfill your dreams. And we shouldn't be monkey see, monkey do, but sometimes that's just how life is. And so to hear you say that you did that gives me this much more encouragement to just go to the top. But so tell me a little bit about how you got started, and what got you here today.
Well, let me just first start off by saying I was literally sitting in my office in 2019. I was at work, the 9-to-5, the corporate, and I was working there. I started my business in 2016, and I was just like, you know, this is going to be great. So I was waiting for the support from everybody. You know, I was working in banking, so I knew I had the skills. I knew how to teach people how to save. I knew I could take them from 0 to 100 like within 6 months. I knew that, and so I was confident in that area. And so when I started my business, it was like, you know, like, what you doing? And so I noticed that the people that were wanting to work with me didn't want my brand. They wanted the brand in which the company that I was associated with. And so I was expecting support in all of the wrong areas. And so
just because you said that what skill did you start first, to do credit or to do life coaching?
So basically, I started off to teach. I started off teaching single moms. I was a single mom at the time, and I
What?
wanted
Give me
to.
courage, y'all.
Yeah, yes. I was a single mom. My target audience was at that time was single moms, and I was trying to teach them how to set their foundation up with credit, budgeting, savings, all of that, just to really give them hope that they could fix their finances and they could become homeowners and all of those things while being a single mom. And so most of my clients were people that I didn't know. And you would think that that would encourage a person, but that actually discouraged me, because I was like, well, why is no one that I know using my services? Why are all the people that I have are people that didn't know me? And I didn't understand the
people
business
that don't know
mindset.
you that support you the most, which is the sad thing. You need to get out of that mindset, people.
Yes, yes. And so I didn't understand the business, where I just knew I had the knowledge, but I didn't have the business foundation that I needed to be strong and successful. So the business didn't last long, maybe 6 months. I was just like, you know what, I just can't do this. I can't do this. So I stopped, and I ended up leaving that job because I had every position that I could possibly have. And so I ended up transitioning to another corporate job. And the whole entire time I think I was only happy for 6 months. I was there for 4 years, okay? 4 years. Only happy for the first 6 months of being there. And I remember just sitting in my office in 2019 and just saying, like, Lord, this just can't be life. And so I just started printing out a whole bunch of quotes. And the one quote that said, it's never too late to be what you might have been.
Yes, yes.
And it did wonders for me. So like when I tell you, I started going to my coworker's office, pretending like I was on stage, speaking to people, pretending like I was already on stage. I was just manifesting all of those things. And I remember telling my coworker, I was like, you're going to be my administrative assistant, and you're going to make $90K a year. And she's just like, she still don't believe. And I still keep telling and I still keep telling her that. And she was like, I'm almost believing you, because she keeps seeing that everything that I keep saying, it keeps happening. And so when the pandemic happened, right, everybody was sent home, and it was just like, it was a whole new world. And so I was, still fearful. I was just like, you know what, I'm going to just start my business in 2021. That'll give me time to give everything together, perfection. Trying to make sure that everything was perfect. So I started this Facebook.
Deadlines are important, because if you don't, then you slack.
Yeah. So I was trying to make sure everything was perfect. I was like, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. And I had all of these details lined up. And so I was like, I'm just going to start a Facebook group, just let people, encourage people, because people had lost their jobs. Maybe they don't know what's the next step, what they should do. So after creating this group, like, it literally skyrocketed. Like, I mean, I had no idea. Like, I started getting so many clients from all over the US. I think I had maybe 3 news interviews, all because I was just telling what I knew, and encouraging people, and telling my testimony about how I had like a 500 or 450 credit score, and how I was an 820 now. So I was just giving people all of these tips. And so when people wanted to work with me, like, I was just like, I didn't have a set plan of how I was going to do everything, because the business was supposed to start in 2021. But because people trust and value what I had to say, it didn't matter how long I had been in business, but it was how valuable I was to those people.
And I don't mean to interrupt you, but sometimes we have to be like the woman in the Bible who had absolutely nothing at all, but yet she trusted in God. Well, no, actually, she didn't trust in God at first. She doubted God. But sometimes we doubt God, and sometimes God, he acts a fool, okay? And he shows out. And so you had a deadline for yourself, but God said, no, you have that deadline, but I'm about to change your whole timeline. And instead of you going according to what you want, you're about to go according to what I want, because you need to go according to God's will and not your own will. And so God showed you that he's going to let your cup overflow with oil and blessings, and just keep flowing and flowing. And so the little bit of oil
that was the oil that anointed you when you said, this is what I'm going to do. Because sometimes God wants you to take that first step of faith, because you can say, oh God, I want this to happen, right?
Yes.
But just because you want that to happen, if you don't take that step, that small step, God's not going to do anything for you. I know people may say that's crazy, but it's true. If y'all have ever thought, oh, I want to do something, if you realize God acts a little bit, but he doesn't fully act until you show him that you could take that step, because you're supposed to work with God, not by yourself. God is wanting you to work with him. And so you're going to keep continuing. That's how you got to where you are. But I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. You got me preaching. Continue.
Preach, girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was just pretty much it. Like, I mean, when I say that the business is just elevated in more ways than I could ever imagine. And I remember getting to that point of where I was just like, I feel like I had got there, but I was like, there's more growth to be made. And so I started following, and I was like, I got to find a coach. I need a coach to take me to the next level of this new brand that I'm trying to do for myself. And I wanted to make sure that I was attracting high value women. And I wanted to make sure that I was attracting those people that wanted to be greater, that wanted to go to the next step. And so my coach lives in Boston, Massachusetts, right? Her name is Rebecca. And let me tell you, yes, when I tell you the name of her business is Purpose to Profit, but when I tell you it was the best investment I could have ever made in myself. And so if you don't have a coach and you're wanting to take your business to the next level, like, if you got to have a coach, you got to have a coach to get you there.
Shout out to Christina Fisher. I don't know if you watch her, but shout out to her. She's my coach on and off. And you know, people always say, oh, why don't you just go to family, friends? They do this, that, and the other. But sometimes you have to go to someone that doesn't know you, because people that know you, they tread lightly. And Christina treaded lightly, but she also pushed me. Like we start from the ground up. So definitely a coach is so worth it. The investment is worth it, whether you broke or not. When you invest in yourself, then God is going to keep pouring into you.
Yes, when I tell you, like, it was the best thing ever. And I remember she was helping me setting up a new program that I had, and it was one of my biggest months that I had. Like, within the whole year, I made more money in 1 month than I had made the whole year just by investing in her. So that was definitely a great move for me. And I just keep seeing my business going up and up, because every time I get an idea or every time I'm trying to take my business to the next level, I'm consulting with her. So I'm definitely appreciative. Is that where you got your idea to be a coach? Well, I knew I already was a coach before, and I was already doing that before I met her, but I just needed some more direction as to how I needed to move. Also, as I was rebranding myself, she did help me with that structure, because she was just like, Latoya, I see you more as than a financial coach. You know, I see you as inspiring women, as teaching them more than on that level of financial coach. And so for me, I knew I still wanted the financial coaching aspect to be in there, but I made sure that I incorporated with empowering women to confidently exit their 9-to-5s and become full-time entrepreneurs with a golden financial plan. And I like to call them my queenpreneurs. That's exactly what they are. Yes.
Yes. And so what we talked about inspiration, and we talked about how you got started, and we talked about your goals that you first had and how God exceeded it above what you wanted it to be. So now let's talk about what advice that you may be able to give to someone that wants to get started in your field, that may be afraid because they either may not be, financially ready, they may not be mentally ready, they may not be spiritually ready, they just might not be ready in general because, life has roadblocks. So what kind of advice can you give to someone who just wants to either be in your field or just wants to start a business or a life adventure, anything, talent, anything in general?
Do it scared. like everything that I've ever did, I did it scared. And also to serve. I remember knowing my purpose. I knew I loved to help people. I knew I loved to get them to point A to point Z, but I just didn't know how to do it. And so I started serving. I started serving more.
Jesus
So I
was a
created
servant. He came down to this earth to be a servant.
Yes,
So
before he
can be a
even got
servant
there.
and coming up from his throne on high. Why can't we be a servant to others?
Yeah. And so I think that's where people need to start. I think sometimes we haven't gotten our foundation solid enough. And so that's why it's a little rocky. And so I remember in 2016, I wasn't serving the way I needed to be serving. And so in 2019, that's when I started serving more. And so I was like, I have these, I have my children. I was like, Lord, how do I still serve while still trying to make sure that I'm balancing my family? And so he gave me the idea to start this page called Huntsville, Alabama Community Resources, which is over 3,000 people in the group. And I remember, yes, and it pretty much runs itself. And I just started providing resources out there for business owners, for nonprofits, whatever resource that I could find, I was putting it out on that page. And so other people began to be a resource as well. And so through serving that's when my passion for what I wanted to really do started to elevate again, which will always lead back to generational wealth.
Yes.
And so.
Wow. Girl, okay, so I didn't know I was talking to a superstar. I knew you were a superstar, but I didn't know you were this super. Like, you can only do so much research on people's social media and things like that. You can only see so much. And that's kind of why I started V.I.B.E for many reasons. But one reason why I started V.I.B.E is to get people out there, because we just see people, we don't know their story, we don't know how far they come. We just think that they already skyrocketed to the top. No, we got to start from the bottom, so started from the bottom, now we're here,
Yes.
Wow. Okay, well, any pros and cons of doing what you do?
I would say be very direct on who you want to serve. Because one of the things that I got tangled in is that when we think about finances, there are so many parts of finances. There's accounting, there's taxes, there's the credit repair agent, there's all of these many avenues in which you could go to. And although I love to talk about credit, I started to attract people that only wanted to work on their credit and wanted me to do it for them. But I'm about empowering people and teaching them. And so if you're not ready to be taught, if you're not ready to learn, if you're not ready to go to the next level by being taught, which is generational wealth, is learning. And so I would say this: make sure that you be very direct of who your client is, because it does not matter how much money you can make. I remember having a ton of clients, but I still was overworked. I wasn't happy. But I remember after I transitioned and hired my coach, I had less clients and still made more money and was not stressed, because I had the clients that were ready and willing to work because they wanted to see themselves elevate and go to the next level. So be careful, because you don't want to attract a lazy client. You want to attract the person that's wanting to be leveled up, to go to the next level. So that's my advice.
It's just like God and the devil. Sin feels good sometimes, but it may make you happy temporarily, but it's not gonna make you happy forever. But God can take you through hell and back sometimes, and sometimes you have to go through the hell in order to get to the light. And people may not always think that the hardships are God, but the hardships are God. Because sometimes you have to go through the pain and the sacrifice in order to get back to where you are. Sometimes you have to go through the trials and tribulations, because you never know if God might be preparing you for something that you may not have been able to handle if you didn't go through the fire. So absolutely, like I definitely agree with you. I used to do credit repair and everything. The money was great. I was making hundreds of dollars a week, like almost $1,000 a week some weeks. That's great money. from working from home. But girl, I wasn't happy. You know, they was like, oh, do this, do that, do that. You know, yes, you're gonna get to the top. You're gonna get to have a house for your son. And I'm like, that was what was motivating me, because I want the best for my son. But at the same time, in wanting the best for my son, I also have to want the best for myself. Because if I don't have to better me, how can I be a better example for my child? And how can he know in his mind to follow his dreams?
Yes.
So, yeah,
because your gift makes room for you. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, girl. We got to have a whole conversation later. Sure, we friends, y'all.
Yes.
Yes. So, before we end, I want to know some of your sneak peeks. Like, can you share? Like, I promise I won't tell anyone. They have to watch to know. So, tell me some sneak peeks about your business, girl. Tell me everything.
Well, here's some sneak peeks. So I actually have a new program that's launching in July. It's a one-on-one program. I have two specialty coaches that are coming on to help me. So not only do they get me, but they get some other two coaches that also left their 9-to-5s and are full-time entrepreneurs. But we have definitely collaborated together to bring something great for people that want to take their business to the next level, that want to take their finances to the next level. And I believe that most of the time that people are not comfortable leaving their 9-to-5 is because they also do not have a plan to get ready to exit. So I think that our purpose is important. And through this program, you will be able to focus and understand the significance on focusing on your purpose and also having a plan so that your business can go to the next level.
Yes. Yes. Well, that's pretty great. I might have my life coach, contact you, because she needs to be involved in that. That would be great. I mean, she hasn't quit her 9-to-5 yet, but she should, because I keep telling her how awesome she is. Like, from when I started with her, I say, girl, you charge me way too cheaply, and I appreciate the not so high cost, but she got me that, like, even if it's just my mindset. Like, I tell people all the time that sometimes life coaches are better than therapists, because life coaches, they do what a therapist does, but they also help you create your path. And that's, so I really appreciate people in your field. Like, y'all are absolutely amazing. But I know we've been here for a long time, maybe not so long. I know y'all want to hear more. So if you guys want to hear more about Latoya's business, tell us where we can find you.
So you will be able to find me on Facebook and Instagram at Financial Coach Whit. So that's Financial Coach and Whit, WHIT. Instagram is where all of the action happens. But when I get ready to launch, that will be on www.latoyawhitfield.com. So make sure that you visit that so that we can take your business to the next level.
Yes, ma'am. I will be. Look, I might have to have more than one life coach now, because too much is never enough when you want to succeed. But yes, all right. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I really, really appreciate you. And you are awesome, girl. You are beyond amazing. Remember that you are, as you see behind me, a virtuous, individual, Black, excellent queen. Remember to wear your crown always. That natural hair is your crown. It's gorgeous. Okay?
Thank you.
And look, we are about to take over the world. We are about to show everyone that we are kings and queens of the King of Kings, and that we are royalty, and they cannot take off our crown. So thank you again for being here. And I hope everyone comes back and wants to be on Let's Talk with Paris Hawk V.I.B.E, because I would love to interview you and get you out there. And again, thank you, Latoya. You have a blessed day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
It's the audacity, the audacity. Who are you to tell me my worth? Didn't know you were God. Aren't you made from dirt? Ooh, da, da. Ooh, da, 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 da. Yeah. Anyways, y'all, for real, all jokes aside, y'all, Latoya Whitfield, tell me that interview was not a word. Tell me that y'all did not get blessed. If you tell me that, then I know it's a lie, okay? Because Latoya Whitfield had the audacity to follow God's plan for her life. She had the audacity to follow in the footsteps that God laid in front of her. And the thing is, I'm so glad that she did not have the audacity to listen to those people that had the audacity to tell her what she could and couldn't do. Because like I said, who are you to tell her her worth? Y'all, did you see her crown? She was wearing it well, honey. She was wearing it so well. She was not glowing because she's a black queen. She was glowing because she had God on her side, and she still has God on her side. So I hope that all of you have learned today how to walk in grace, how to have that Matthew 17 verse 20 faith, how to let your oil overflow, because God is going to allow your jar of oil, like 2 Kings chapter 4 says, to overflow with countless blessings. And just like Latoya Whitfield wanted her business to start in 2021, but God said, no, baby girl, that is not my plan for you. My plan for you is to start now. And in 2021, you're going to quit your job. And guess what? She quit her job. She is a superstar. And y'all, must I say, she was a single mom at first. And now she's married. He put a ring on it. I'm crazy. But sis, that gave me hope. Thank you. That gave me hope. Again, y'all know I'm crazy. Anyways, thank you so very much once again, Latoya Whitfield, for not only giving me inspiration and showing me the works of God, but also giving all of our viewers, all of our V.I.B.E viewers, the kings and queens out there that may not have the type of faith that they need, but now we'll have that crazy faith, and that will take that step to the next level. Anyways, thank you everyone for being here today. Thank you for being my biggest supporter. Thank you for, even if you're not my big supporter, thank you for just simply watching. And whether I know you or not, I hope to know you soon. I hope to future you, whether you are a Black business owner, a singer, a dancer, a poet, anything, any type of specialty that you had, even if you may have, served our country. Thank you so much. And just in case you didn't know, you are a virtuous individual, Black excellent king and queen. Wear your crown high and reach for the sky. Baby, don't let anyone tell you who you are or whose you are, because remember, you are a king and queen of the King of Kings. Okay? Walk with poise. Okay? With a little attitude, because sometimes you gotta have a little attitude, okay? Anyways, thank you so much. Again, my name is Paris Hawk, and I am your host for Let's Talk with Paris Hawk. Bye. I'll see you next time. Bye. If you're a Black business owner, poet, dancer, singer, and more, then please email me at vibeshow18@gmail.com. Again, the email is vibeshow18@gmail.com. Can't wait to feature you. Bye. This show is produced by Paris Hawk Productions, LLC.